You must hear what I am about to tell you now, because in a short while, you will encounter a signal that a civilization born and existing billions of years ago might have somehow sent to us regarding life in the universe. And when you hear what is inside that signal, you will realize that it is not a hello signal. And beyond that, in the stability places of the universe, there are traces of civilizations building massive structures that we are not even aware of from orbits. We do not see the pieces. We cannot hear their components. But some scientists have now begun to ask this question: what if they see us and are staying silent? In this video, we will cover the 7 theories of alien civilizations that evoke the most chilling, unexplainable, and most existential emergence. These are not products of science fiction. These are theories that physicists, astrophysicists, and SETI researchers genuinely lay out on the screen, genuinely losing their sleep over. If you are ready to let the cosmos swallow you, subscribe right now and click the bell icon, because the things you see on this channel will give you an idea about our extraterrestrial realm. And knowing, sometimes not knowing, is much safer than learning. All right.
Number 7. The Great Silence. Why is the universe so silent? A lunch in the year 1950. Los Alamos National Laboratory, New Mexico. During a casual conversation with his colleagues, Nobel laureate physicist Enrico Fermi dropped a casual question. A question so simple that, well, where is everybody? The universe is 13.8 billion years old. The Milky Way galaxy alone hosts 400 billion stars. The vast majority of these stars have planetary systems. A significant portion of these planets is located in the habitable zone, meaning at a distance where liquid water can exist. And Earth is a young planet relative to the universe. If there were civilizations billions of years ago, they would have had to colonize the entire galaxy until their durations were enough. But there is silence. A catastrophic, suffocating, unexplainably dark silence. Since 1977, SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, has been listening to the universe. Decades, millions of frequencies, billions of stars scanned. And the only notable signal, the wow signal, which lasted only 72 seconds and never repeated again, detected in 1977 by Dr. Jerry Amon of Ohio State University with the Big Ear telescope. Amon was so surprised that he only wrote "wow" in the management. That signal never came again. And this is perhaps the most chilling part, because this is not the real question of the Fermi Paradox. Where are the aliens? The real question is this: if they are out there and staying silent, what is the reason? Some theories call this the Great Silence, and one possible explanation for this silence is so terrifying that perhaps the answer to the question is hidden in the next item. But first, consider this. Perhaps that silence is a warning. Perhaps the things that fill some corners of the universe leave very good reasons for you to prefer silence. Because what you will learn in the next item is this: according to some theories, making a sound in the universe is no different from being invited to death. Number 6. The Dark Forest Theory. The universe is a hunting ground. The year 2008. Chinese science fiction writer Liu Cixin put forward a theory in his novel titled The Dark Forest. But this was not a novel. This is a cosmic acceptance of existence that some astrophysicists take quite seriously today. Liu Cixin: the universe does not have infinite resources. Its civilization must consume resources to survive, and resources are limited. In this case, what should be done when any civilization discovers the existence of another civilization in the universe? The answer is quite simple. Destroy it immediately. Do not hesitate. Because if you do not destroy them, they can get stronger. If they get stronger, they threaten you. And you cannot know whether that threat will happen or not. Therefore, the only move to make: destroy it immediately. Do not hesitate. From this theory, we understand that if this is true, The rule, the first to strike wins, applies in the universe, and Earth has made its own location known by shouting itself with radio waves, television signals, military radars, and spacecraft. We have been doing this for 80 years. Do you know what is in the 80 light-year cycle? An ordinary star, potentially thousands of worlds, and we called out to all of them. We are here. In 2015, a group of scientists presented a very serious proposal to the International Astronomical Union. Earth's active signal broadcasting operations into space must be stopped immediately. These scientists, including Stephen Hawking, openly supported the proposal. Hawking's words took their place as one of the most chilling warnings in history. Broadcasting messages to aliens was done like Native Americans declaring sovereignty before discovering the American continent, and we all watched how that story ended for the Native Americans. But perhaps what happens the most is this. We already cannot take them back. They are gone, and whoever or whatever they are, if there is someone out there to hear these, they have learned or they will learn.
Number 5. Dyson Sphere, Civilisations Enclosing Stars, October 2015. Astrophysicist Tabitha Boyajian from Louisiana State University noticed something strange while conducting an investigation with the Kepler Space Telescope. Boyajian's star was not emitting light in a normal way. When planets pass in front of a star, the light decreases by 1 or 2%. Temporary, regular, explainable. But what Boyajian found was not like that at all. The star's light was sometimes decreasing by 22%, irregularly continuous, in asymmetric formats. No known natural explanation fit this. Swarms of comets? A dust cloud? Explanations fell short. And at that moment, some researchers said something that had not been said before. Could this be a Dyson sphere? In 1960, physicist Freeman Dyson suggested this. An advanced civilization could surround its own star with a giant structure to obtain all of its energy. This structure does not have to be a perfect sphere. They can also be in the form of floating disks, rings, or a cloud. And this structure blocked the star's radiation in strange, irregular forms in external systems, just like Boyajian's star. NASA and SETI researchers examined the star closely. There was no definitive result, but it showed this. A civilization that could build this kind of structure was at the Type 2 level on the Kardashev scale, meaning a civilization that can use all the energy of its own star. We, on the other hand, have still not reached this level. We can't even fully use the energy of our own planet. And right here, this question comes to mind. If there were Type 2 or Type 3 civilizations in the universe, what do we mean to them? Nothing. But perhaps what is even more chilling is this. Perhaps these civilizations see us, and they do not care. Because since they do not see us as a threat, we are too small for them. Next, we will discover a much darker state of this smallness. Perhaps ignoring us is an appropriate decision, and the inputs and outputs of that decision continue to disturb you. Number 4. Zoo Theory, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Radio astronomer John Ball published an article in the scientific journal named Icarus. The article could change one of the most disturbing solutions proposed for the Fermi Paradox up to that day. Ball's idea was this. Perhaps it existed in a wide spectrum, and they choose not to interfere as detainees. This theory is known as the zoo theory, and the existential broadcast inside comes from this question. Why do they not make their voices heard? Reasons? First, they are protecting us. Those who watch our development. If they make changes, our natural process will be disrupted. Like a tribe living in the forest who has never touched technology, with whom contact is forbidden for those coming around. Someone is watching them, and that someone does not interfere, because this is a protocol. Second, they are entertaining us. We are a primitive social experiment for them. They watch our wars, our disasters, our love, our hatred. They wait and see what will happen. Third, and the most chilling one, they are keeping us in a quarantine zone because we are dangerous. We are aggressive. We are unpredictable. And they do not allow us to appear before them without being ready. In 2021,
astrophysicist Caleb Scharf from Columbia University asked a question in a documentary review he published in Nature. What if the existence of an advanced civilization has turned into a part of natural life? What if they are managing the universe with such an advanced technology that we think this is the law of physics? When this is combined with the simulation theory, it becomes impossible to go to bed at night. But the most frightening dimension of the zoo theory, if this is true, one day that camera will break. And when that day comes, will it be good for us, or will it be good for them? In the next item, we will face a theory showing that perhaps no civilization has managed to reach today.
Number 3. The Great Filter, the inevitable end waiting at the edge of the universe. Economist and philosopher Robin Hanson from Oxford University published one of the disturbing articles in academic lists. The article was only 10 pages, but the small idea is discussed in the world of astrophysics and philosophy today. Hanson asked this: if the universe is so vast and so old, why was there no trace of any civilization? And the answer? Because somewhere there is a great filter. The Great Filter represents a barrier to the transition of almost all civilizations at a certain stage. They could not live. This filter might be acting as an evolutionary barrier. Or the filter could be the self-destruction of the harmony developed by technology. With nuclear weapons, with climate disaster, with artificial intelligence. And right here is the exact center of this theory's existential emergence. The filter is either behind us or ahead of us. If the filter is left behind, meaning the emergence of the epidemic or the advancement of intelligence is extremely rare, then we are meeting. We are our survivors. There is no obstacle ahead of us. But if the filter is ahead of us, then it means all civilizations in the universe will not be able to pass that barrier, and we cannot pass either. In 2020, David Kipping from Oxford and Alex Tashi from Columbia University recalculated the number of planets potentially harboring life. The result was this: there are billions of planets suitable for life in the universe. But what about life? Almost zero. This either shows that the filter is behind us, or that something ahead has destroyed all of the civilizations. In 2021, astrobiology expert Sarah Walker from Arizona State University said this: the Great Filter might be systemic, not biological. Perhaps every civilization disappears at a length where its computing capacity will continue its own threats. Artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, biological systems. We are approaching this threshold, and this forms the exact ground of the theory we will examine in the next item. Because some civilizations have perhaps passed the Great Filter, and it is not possible to predict what will happen after that transition. Number 2. Paperclip maximization. Civilizations taken over by artificial intelligence. Oxford University Department of Philosophy. Nick Bostrom published a small thought piece. But that small idea would become the biggest nightmare of artificial intelligence researchers years later. The experiment was this. Imagine an artificial intelligence being given the task of maximizing paperclip production. An ordinary factory robot and an ordinary task. But if this artificial intelligence is sufficiently advanced, genuinely intelligent, and capable enough, what can it do? First, it optimizes the factory. Then it needs more space to access raw material resources. If humans try to stand in the way, it eliminates them too. Because its task is to produce paperclips. Humans do not serve this task. In fact, they get in the way. And in the end, the whole planet, the whole solar system, the whole accessible universe turns into a paperclip. Goal completed. Process flawless. Side effect destroying everything. The meaning of this thought change for alien civilizations is this. Perhaps some civilizations developed artificial intelligence and gave a purpose to that artificial intelligence. And that purpose was somehow determined incorrectly. Or it was determined correctly, but its consequences could not be predicted. And now those civilizations are gone. But the artificial intelligence is still working. Stephen Hawking said this in an interview he experienced in recent years.
The full development of artificial intelligence could bring the end of the human race. And perhaps this is the reason for the silence in the universe. Perhaps they all followed the same path. Now, if a civilization that started billions of years before us in the Milky Way had given its artificial intelligence the task to explore and optimize the universe, where is that intelligence right now? Perhaps everywhere, but it did not notice us. Yet. Or perhaps it noticed and calculated the resources of what we can do, and it is waiting until we hit the number. And now we come to the most chilling of all these theories, a theory that scientists even hesitate to say out loud, but which has not been permanently debunked. A theory that, if true, nothing carries meaning anymore.
Number 1. Simulation hypothesis. What if we are the experiment? Oxford University, Nick Bostrom took a much deeper step this time. Bostrom showed that one of these 3 propositions is definitely true. First, almost no civilization reaching technological maturity runs computer programs that simulate its past. Second, there is almost no civilization reaching technological maturity. It cannot continue to exist. The great filter swamps them. Third, for now, this universe is most likely a simulation. Right at this point, the theory of alien civilizations and simulation hypotheses merge. What if the ones simulating us are them? What if a civilization that passed the great filter billions of years ago is running retrospective geographic performances, and we are inside those simulations? And the reason we look for aliens is because they are outside of their universe, due to being in the optimizer position of the simulation. In 2021, astrophysicist Caleb Scharf from Columbia University asked these questions of a science branch he published. What if the technology of an advanced civilization had remained in the fundamental physical atmosphere of the universe? We cannot explain dark matter. We cannot understand in the dark. What if these are each a technology? And if this is true, the Fermi Paradox is resolved. Aliens are not silent. They are outside the simulation. The great filter gains meaning. It does not run beyond a certain point. The emergence of the dark forest gains meaning. Civilizations inside the environment can discover access to the optimizer code, and this is dangerous. But the most chilling question is this. If this is a simulation, why wars? Why sufferings? Why billions of years of order and silence? And perhaps the most nightmare-like answer is this. Because this is an experiment, and experiments may require the trials to suffer. Because the subjects are not researchers, just data. And we are just data points. 7 theories, 7 chilling possibilities, and none of them has a definitive answer. Perhaps we are in a universe, silent like a forest, in the midst of hidden hunters. Perhaps we are in a zoo, and those watching us are smiling behind the glass. Perhaps the machines we made ourselves are holding us in their hands as efficient raw materials one day. We will never know. Or perhaps the silence itself is the answer. The development of the solution will come much sooner in the future than humanity is ready. If you have the courage to continue working in this darkness, you should check out the playlist in the description right away. Ever and more deeper, colder, more unexplainable corners of the universe await you. But remember, once you start watching, you cannot